YouTube, and welcome to the finals. This is a new player's complete guide to give you all of the information that all the players that have been playing this game for about a year now, to give it to you so you don't feel like you're at any sort of disadvantage. And there are some confusing things in this game that the menu or the UI doesn't explain to you that makes you kind of feel like you want to drop the game because it feels like too much of a learning curve. I'm going to give you an in-depth guide to this game where you have every bit of information that I have accumulated since the open beta when I started playing this game. I'm talking everything. If you got something specific that you want to know about this game, if you look down at the timeline of this video, I'm going to have it broken up into timestamps. If you're looking for something specifically, you're going to see it there. You can skip ahead, find that, and then come back to where you were at in the video just to get that information out of the way. We're going to start with the base simple things, right? I'm going to go over the lore a little bit, and then I'm going to go over what the menu is and how to navigate it because it's super confusing. But a little overview of the lore, the finals. What is the finals? The finals is a virtual game show in a world where it's some sort of dystopian universe. People aren't doing very well in their day-to-day life, but they come to, much like the Roman Colosseum, the finals to watch it, like the NFL, the NBA type of stuff, to watch it, get entertained. People upload their consciousness into this virtual arena as a contestant, and their two other teammates compete to win as people watching different in-game sponsorships. Think like Tesla or Coca-Cola. Embark, who creates this game, comes up with fake brands and sponsorships that watch and sponsor different contestants, and you're competing to win these tournaments for these fans. Now, the menu. So this menu is super confusing, and I'm going to get rid of my face cam so we can navigate this pretty well. What are some of the base things you're going to want to do? So first things first, your contestant. You're going to want to be able to edit the loadout that you're going to have going into the game, and it is not super obvious how to do that off rip. So if you see the bottom of the center of my screen, you're going to see a yellow rectangle down here that says edit. If you're on keyboard and mouse, you would just click it. If you're on controller, you're going to hit X for Xbox controller, square for a PlayStation controller. You hit that, and this is going to be your immediate loadout. Now, if you look at these first 5 slots here, this is what you're going to take into you with your game. Your reserve over here, this little jumpy ticket, this is what you're going to be able to swap to if you're in a casual mode, and if you're not in a casual mode, what you're going to be able to swap to in between rounds. And if you're in ranked, you're not going to be able to swap to this at all. So this is what's important here. You pick your specialization, which is basically your superpower for your class, your weapon, which is all the weapons for that class as well, and then your gadgets. And we'll go over these more as we go over the equipment tab, but this is how you fix your loadout and what you want to take into you to the game that you're about to play. Not immediately super obvious when you go in, but say you don't want to, like I'm a medium right now. There's 3 different classes. There's light, medium, heavy. How do you swap between them? So if you go over to the right, you see all these tabs here. You're going to want to go to contestants. You select that, and you can have 8 pre-saved contestants, right? I have 3 lights, 2 mediums, 1 heavy. I hardly ever play heavy. I have 6 out of 8. I haven't had it, the extra 2. But if I have a medium playstyle that I want to play as, like I have them here, I'd go over, I want to play light this game. So I go over and I hit light. I hit it. I can change what gear I have or whatever, and then I would hit back or B back to the menu, and now I am the light class. That is how you change that. So say I'm about to head into whatever game mode I select. I want to play as heavy. I'd go over to the contestants tab. I would go to my heavy pre-created area, or if I don't have a heavy tab here, I would hit create a heavy. As I would do that, here I'll go. You'd pick heavy, medium, or light. As you do that, you say I want another heavy tab, so I'd select this right here. I'd go in and I pick my specialization that I would want for this class, my weapon, my gadgets, and then if you have outfits, you can create pre-saved outfits, but as you're creating outfits, you'd go to style and it's really in-depth cosmetics here, but you'd go and change what he's wearing on his head, what he's wearing on his face, what's on his upper body, and stuff like that. So I'd go over here, and then I can just select him off rip here. So I want to play heavy, I'd select my pre-saved one, and then I'd hit backspace, or BB, or circle, and then I'm back in the menu, and you can hit to change game mode and hit play. That is how you change your contestant and your class, and how you edit what you're bringing into the game with you. Just a quick overview on how to do that, because it's kind of confusing and they don't explain it very well. Now, If you're a new player, you're going to find that doing all of that, you're going to realize, oh, hey, I'm selecting my medium, and I oh, he said check all the gadgets I want to bring in with me, but I can't use the gun he's using. All of these are going to be grayed out with a little price tag underneath them, with some sort of diamond currency. Even these are going to be locked for you. Obviously I have them all unlocked right now, but they're going to look locked. How do you unlock things in this game? This is one of my most frustrating experience as a veteran player trying to get new players to play. Trying to get people to like this game when they don't explain how to unlock things very well is pretty frustrating. Like, as a new player, I would hate that. So if I want to unlock new things, this is the tab you're going to want to go to. So you're on the menu, see this right-hand area over here. You're going to want to hit this equipment tab. Now, all of this is going to have like 3 things unlocked for you. This is the medium class because that's who I am in the menu. But you're going to have, I think, the AK, the healing beam, and I don't know what gadgets you're going to have unlocked by default, maybe the frag and the defibs, but everything else is going to have a price tag underneath it, and you're going to have to play games to get that currency. Now, it is not the premium currency, so if I click in my left stick, that gives me access to this top right-hand area up here. So, again, the way that I'm making this highlight up here is I'm clicking in my left stick. If you're on keyboard or mouse, I think you can just go and click up there, but I click it in and I go over to the left. You see this currency here, the little C circle? This is the premium currency. This is for buying bundles in the store. But if you go over one more, you see this diamond currency that I have 5,000 out of 5,000 for. This is how you unlock weapons and equipment in this game. You use this currency, and this is how you track how much you have. It is capped at 5,000, but you are going to see that little diamond icon underneath these, a grayed out version of these, and it's going to ask you for an amount of those. Without that explanation, I think it's hard to realize that's what it's looking for. But the way you get this currency is just by playing games. So you're going to have to use the default loadout. If you win your game, you're going to get more. If you lose your game, you're still going to get some. And I think even when you lose, you still get a good amount. But you're going to accrue enough over time where you're going to be able to unlock things slowly. So my recommendation, as you're leveling up, getting stuff, I would get the full auto stuff out of the way. So a lot of people like the AKM. I think it's unlocked by default for you. My favorite weapon in the game is the FCAR. So I would get that next. And then after that, I would get the FAMAS. If you are a shotgun lover, I would either go repeater or Cerberus or model. The repeater's not a shotgun, but it kind of has that feel. But the model and the Cerberus are really good there. These all have explanation videos. We'll go over this in the range. I will show you what every single gadget does. That's going to be a big portion of this video. But for now, I'll save my recommendations for that later. If you are a light player, I would recommend getting good with grapple hook or dash. Invisibility is pretty straightforward. I don't know which one of these you start off with default, but if you're a light player, get really good at movement because you have very, very little health. But these weapons are going to be the same thing. My favorite weapon, most balanced weapon in the game, in my opinion, is this XP54. If you don't have that unlocked by default, I would unlock that. If not, I would unlock the M11. Very easy to control, very up-close gun, very good hip fire. And then after that, I would recommend either the V9S single-fire pistol or the 93R or the ARN220. All of the guns in this game you'll find are viable. There are top-tier players that use every weapon in this game. There is some metas here and there that are kind of hard, but you can make everything in this game viable at the top 500 level, you'll find. So my recommendation as a beginner player, I would use the XP54 or the M11. If you don't get super up close as a light player, use the ARN. This is another one of my favorites in the game. Now, a little explanation of the numbers at the top left corner of each of these tabs. You can level up everything in this game, including the specializations, weapons, and gadgets. If you see down here, I have my XP54 at level 8. I have my FCAR level 9. Those are, I think, the highest levels I have anything in this game. Every time you level up a weapon, a specialization, or gadget in this game, you get a little weapon camo for it for free. So my FCAR, as you see, level 1, you get the default FCAR. Then level 2, you get yellow, blue, red, white, level 5. And level 6, you get a really cool, poly angular type of camo, which looks really cool. So this is the first mastery camo you got. Level 6 used to be max. So it's progressively gotten more and more as we go on. Now the level cap is 11. Every season they come out with, the level cap goes up a little bit more. So that's something to grind for with your favorite weapon. So if you're using something over and over again, you're not doing it for nothing. But those camos are for every piece of equipment in the game. See, even here, my defibs, I have them level 6. I just got them there, and you can put this camo on them, which is cool. And you can put charms and skins and stuff on them as well. But that is going to be the equipment tab. That is how you're going to unlock different gadgets, weapons, and specializations for each class. So when you're going over the contestants or this edit tab and you're like, oh, hey, I want to do what he's doing, these aren't going to be available to you. You can unlock them from this screen, I believe. You're going to be able to see that currency there. You're going to be able to select it. It's going to ask you to buy it for so-and-so amount, probably 1,500 diamond currency. You'll say yes, and then you can just select it and put it there on the screen. Then you would hit circle or B back to the menu, and you go down to play or change game mode to have that new loadout with you as you're going into that game. So that is how you do all of that. That is how the unlock system works. Now I'm going to go over all of the game modes. So if you go over and you go to change game mode in the bottom right, so you finally want to go into a game. So you have your loadout down, right? You've got the class you want to play as. You've got your default loadout, probably. You haven't gotten to a game yet, and you're ready to play. You've got your guy kind of dripped out, and you want to head in. So you're going to go down to the bottom right, and you're going to go to change game mode, and you're probably going to go down to quick play. Now, these are the big main modes, World Tour and Ranked Tournament. If you're not a big ranked person, you can kind of ignore this and focus on World Tour. What World Tour is a fully fleshed out, less competitive version of ranked. And the only thing that's different is in ranked, if you win a game, you gain ranked points. If you lose a game, you lose ranked points. In World Tour, if you win a game, you gain ranked points. If you lose a game, you don't lose anything. So it's just how many wins can you get in a season, and you still get similar rewards. So if you go over here, the ranked rewards are here. You go over here in this progression area. You see at the bottom, you get stickers, different weapon camos, blueprints, and if you see at the bottom right hand, the bottom two, Diamond and Ruby. Ruby is the top 500 players. Diamond is the rank right below that. You get a Diamond sniper rifle that actually looks like diamonds, and a Ruby heavy AR, and that actually looks like Ruby. Those are kind of the coolest skins in the game. As an example, I have the Diamond FCAR unlocked from when I hit Diamond in Season 2. This is what those look like. But there's an Emerald version of this. If you just want to play World Tour, you still get a reward like that. So if I go over to my light, the Emerald reward when I played was the M11. So this is the reward for World Tour. So if you want to grind World Tour instead of ranked, you still get this Diamond Emerald looking reward skin without the fear of like, wasting your time or grinding a ranked mode. You can still lose and not lose anything and still get a reward that's kind of cool. I think this season it is the dual DEAGLES getting the Emerald skin. The reward is different every single time, but that's the incentive there. And I really, really like these reward skins that you have there. So, game modes. Other than these two, you've got your event mode that changes every 2 weeks. They have an event. This is the head-to-head. They had like a sports ball event last 2 weeks. It'll change, but this is where the event mode is going to be played. You'll select this. And then we've got practice, which I want you to go into a lot, but I got a whole segment of the video that I'll get into in the practice mode. And then there's private match. I hold 1v1 tournaments and custom games all the time. This is how I do that. I'd pick a game mode, pick a map, variant, anything about the map, and then I would create it. It would give me a lobby ID. I would send that to people in my stream, and they would type that code into enter ID, hit join game, and they'd be in a lobby with me. So that's how the private match is. You can play with your friends, host one on your own, and then we'll get into quick play. This is how you're going to get your journey started, and this is kind of the confusing part of the menu. So to get to the 4 game modes in this game, you go down to the bottom right, hit change game mode, then you go to quick play, and that shows you these 4 game modes. A lot of people don't know that for the finals has team deathmatch, and it's got a team deathmatch community. But a quick little overview, we're going to watch all the videos that explain what these modes are and how they work, but I'm going to give you a quick overview. Quick cash is the main game mode. This is the finals mode. Then there's team deathmatch, 5v5, self-explanatory. Terminal attack is like search and destroy. Single life competitive game mode, and then there's power shift, which is like a mobile king of the hill. They'll explain it in the video, but the casual player base, if you're doing the most of your leveling up, you're either playing quick cash Team Deathmatch or Power Shift, and probably playing Power Shift. This is the mode where people who just want to sit back and have fun play. They play Power Shift a lot. So here are the explanation videos for all of these. This is the main mode that Ranked and World Tour is going to be.
It's showtime, contestants. Let's start by diving into Quick Cash.
You'll play Cash Out as a single match rush with 3 teams of 3. The first team to reach 20,000 wins.
First, head for the vault and grab the cash box.
Next, insert the box into a cash out station, but be careful, your opponents can steal a cash out in progress.
That's right, you'll need to set up defenses and use our arenas to your advantage. Be ready for anything.
Now gear up, get out there, and give us a show.
So that was Quick Cash. That is what World Tour and Ranked is going to be playing around. So if you want to get practice in for those, you will hit this Quick Cash mode. It is a single round instead of a tournament like those 2 main modes are. So you only play 1 round, and at the end, you'll just go back to the menu. But that's how you're going to quickly get through games. Team Deathmatch. Here is the explanation video for this.
Welcome to Team Deathmatch, where it's you, your team, and all-out mayhem. Break it down for us, June.
Gladly. So matches are round-based. First team to win 2 rounds takes the match. And to win a round, you'll need 30 eliminations before the other team gets there. But don't get too comfy. Each round is capped at 5 minutes. If time runs out, the team with the most eliminations wins.
Love it. This is mayhem at its finest. Fast, chaotic, and oh so satisfying. So lock in, load up, and let's see what you've got.
So that is the Team Deathmatch mode. You would select this if you want to play it. Go over to the Terminal Attack mode. Here's the video explaining the Search and Destroy.
Welcome to Terminal Attack, the latest craze hitting the finals, courtesy of, well, CNS.
Here's the rundown. In this mode, 2 teams of 5 face off in a best-of-9 showdown.
In each round, the teams will be assigned the role of attackers or defenders.
Defenders need to stop the attackers by eliminating them or interrupting the transfer at the terminal. For attackers, the mission is to deliver a decryption key to a terminal to activate and complete a funds transfer.
All contestants respawn at the start of each round, but that's it. Yes, folks, CNS has added some twists. No revives and no mid-round respawns. And gadgets do not recharge mid-round.
Every move and every decision could end the round. That's why we call it Terminal Attack.
All right, let's get started.
So that is Terminal Attack, and then here is the main casual game mode that people have a lot of fun in, Power Shift.
Contestants, it's time to claim fame in the game we call Power Shift. Jump into the arena, get to the platform, and capture it to set it in motion.
You'll be earning cash as the platform starts moving towards your goal. Try to get 2 or even 3 of you on there, so the platform moves that much faster. If anything gets in the way of our platform, it'll just rip right through it. You'll have to adapt your attack or defense as the arena crumbles around you.
And in this competition, you can switch your whole contestant pack between respawns. The first team to reach their goal, or the team that's closest when time's up, wins.
However, if your team holds the platform but isn't in the lead when time is up, we'll call overtime, just to see if you can get it back across the center line to secure the win. Good luck out there, and don't let the power shift away from you.
Now that is the Power Shift mode. That mode is a lot of fun. I played a lot of Power Shift myself, and as you see at the bottom, badges 9 out of 12. You can grind out badges for quick play, so you kind of rank up in quick play, and you can, at the end of the season, whatever rank you are in quick play, quote unquote, you can flex on your player badge. And if you're wondering, what is my player card? You go over to Contestant tab up here. This is another way you can customize your character. You hit this, and if you see on the left side of my screen, there's my player card. You can hit Edit Player Card. And this is kind of like when you die in Apex Legends or get killed by someone in Apex Legends. They show you the player card. You can kind of flex some of your stats. You can pick the background, and you can pick the border and everything. You unlock them as you do different challenges or get cosmetics like, say, battle passes or from the contracts and stuff. And these badges, they go up. So as you get more eliminations, you get the diamond badge for eliminations. As you get a bunch of revives, you get the diamond badge for revives. I only have 2 diamond badges. If you get even more, it goes to like purple amethyst. Like I can still rank these up to even cooler looking ones, but my coolest 2 badges are are kills and revives, which I think is good. That's cool. And then if you finish in ranked in a certain season, you will get the little rank badge for it. But the only times when they started doing badges, I haven't got anything high since they started doing that. But that's how you customize your player card. And this is what people will see when you kill them. This will pop up and it'll show your player card. Now, my stance there, I got little flame fists. if you go to the edit tab at the bottom center of your screen, hit edit, and you go all the way over to expressions, these emotes, as you unlock different emotes, you can equip one, and say I want to use this one, I hit Y for intro and on victory, any one of these. So you can pick one, and this will show as you walk into the game and it introduces your team. This will play at the beginning, and then at the end, if you win your game, it shows the winning team. You can do another emote. So I've got this one plays when I walk in, or when I win a game. If I win a game, it shows this emote, and then when I'm going into a round, it shows it on intro. But your intro emote, if you select it as show on intro, is what is going to show up on your player card. So see how that changed? Now I'm doing that emote in my stance there. So that's how you customize what your player is doing on your player card. You'd go into your emotes, and it reflects the intro emote there. That's not explained explicitly anywhere, but that's how you customize your player card. Now, next, I'm going to go into... All right, another thing I want to go into before I get to the practice range and go over every weapon and stuff and specializations. There are attachments for these weapons, quote-unquote, but the only attachments are sights. So if I go over here to my FCAR, you've got all your skins. So why I did this, I went to the edit tab, I went over here, and I hit X customize on keyboard and mouse. You just click on customize. So I go over here, hit customize. You can pick whatever skin you have unlocked for it. These camo skins, see, like this is my level 7 camo or level 6 camo. This I unlocked doing a challenge. So different things you'll unlock while you do challenges. You can pick these skins. At the bottom are going to be skins that are available to buy that you don't have yet. But if you tab over, you'll see your progression for your weapon level, skins, and then sights. So you have different sights you can put on each weapon. And that's something you can do. It's personal preference. I either do iron sights, which are really clean on the FCAR, or I do the hollow sight, which is what it came out with on release. But you can pick each of these sights. Just good knowledge to have going forward. Some people like the XP54 with the red dot sight. A lot of people like the FCAR with the red dot sight. I like the hollow sight, big sight picture, or the irons. But you can do that with pretty much every weapon. This one I have the irons on for the FAMAS, but I can throw on this sight. And see, here's a good example of that diamond currency that I haven't used yet. I would hit this. That's how these sights are unlocked. I would say I want to unlock this for the FAMAS. I would buy it, and it would take away 300 of my 5,000 diamond currency that you see up here. Now I'm at 4,700. So these sights are unlocked using that same currency over there, and that's how you do that. And you would tab over to add different charms to your weapon here, and different stickers. Some of the stickers are animated, which is really cool. And this animations thing is cool. You can add different reload animations. Since this blueprint has special animations for it, they're locked out, but you can change the way your weapon reloads. Here, the FCAR is going to be a better example for this. So every time I equip my FCAR, it's going to do one of these animations. You can pick multiple ones. It'll flip through. But here, every time I tactical reload, it'll do a different type of reload, and I can select those, which is really cool. It keeps it feeling like your character's doing something different after every single time something happens. So that's how you do that, and I wanted to explain that attachment system, quote unquote, because it doesn't have attachments per se, but you can put on sights to almost every single weapon that isn't melee or like something that wouldn't have a attachment there anyway. But now we're gonna head into the practice range, and I'm gonna go over, so that you have a feel what you want to try and unlock first, every little piece of equipment and weapon for each of the classes. It's going to take me a while. It's going to be a big portion of the video. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to head over to the firing range portion of this part of the practice range, and I'm going to shoot every weapon in this game towards these dummies so you can see what they sound like, what they look like, how they perform, so you can figure out which weapon you want to unlock first as you're going through your new player experience. Like, oh, I'm grinding for these diamond currencies. I want to unlock the FCAR first because, wow, that looked good in this video. I just want to give you an idea for something to go for. So first things first, I'm going to do the FCAR since I have it equipped. This is what it looks like. I have a lot of practice controlling this recoil. A lot of people say the recoil is really hard. with the FCAR, I have a video committed to mitigating and eliminating recoil in the finals. I'm going to try and remember to tag it below. If not, it is on my page. It's one of my most viewed videos. If you are on controller or keyboard and mouse, if you strafe and counter look with your controller here while you're shooting, you go like this. You pull them into the same areas or the opposite directions here while you're shooting. You'll mitigate the recoil. It'll almost go away. So here's what the recoil looks without doing that. So it goes up, and if I am not doing that technique and I'm just pulling down, it's still a little jumpy. But if I'm strafing while I'm doing it, there's like almost no recoil at all. Obviously on my controller, and I'm getting a lot of help from Dirty Aim Assist, but this is a way to mitigate recoil. So that's the FCAR, okay? My favorite weapon in the game. If I go over here, I'm just going to go down the line. So here's the Cerberus. This is the 3-shot fire shotgun. I'm going to do it against a few of them. There's the Cerberus. Here's the CL40. This is a grenade launcher. A lot of people are using this right now. A lot of competitive players are upset about it because it's they feel it's a no-skill weapon, but it's been tuned a lot. I think it's in a good place right now. So that's the CL40, really long reload right there. Then we're going to go down. Here is the C1 repeater. This is like a lever-action rifle for the medium. There are some sights here that make it a little bit better. A really long reload with this weapon, but there's a lot of skill expression with this weapon. Does a lot of headshot damage. That is the repeater. Then we'll go over. This is the AK. This is what I think you're going to have unlocked at the beginning. This is my second favorite weapon. Very, very good, reliable weapon. Very easy to control. This is probably the easiest weapon to control in the game. It's got more bullets than the FCAR, so if you miss some bullets at the beginning of your matches, you're still going to be able to get that kill. It's very forgiving. The AK is probably the best all-around feeling weapon in this game, so I would really recommend starting off with the AK. But this is what it looks like and how it feels shooting at targets with it. That's the AK. Here's the riot shield. This is kind of the meta right now because it's super broken. You can just not get hit, and then whack people. Very, very fun. I play with goo. You can goo people, and then as they break out of it, hit them. Very, very entertaining playstyle and casual. But if you're in ranked using it, you're kind of a pleb. But here it is. That is the riot shield, which is pretty cool. What is up next? Here's the revolver. Here's one of my favorite guns in the game right now. I'm trying to master it. But this does a lot of headshot damage, but only has 6 shots. So it's a 6-shot repeater, but it's very satisfying if you get it down. But again, you gotta space out those 6 shots. This is a special blueprint. You see my hand holding over the hammer of it. That is because it's a blueprint, but the reload animation stuff are really cool for it. But that's the revolver. That's how it shoots and reloads. Here's the pike. This is a long-range semi-automatic DMR type weapon. Usually comes with a scope. I don't have the scope equipped here, so keep that in mind. But you can go irons, and does a lot of headshot weapons. But if you're a very medium, long-range type of person, and you're good playing support there, this is a weapon you're gonna enjoy. And then we go over. Here's the model. This is one of the shotguns. This used to be one of my favorites. It was really broken in season 3 to 5. And then as you reload, you can shoot as you put a shell in there. This is another one that is balanced by its slow reload time. So I'm going to wait that full reload time while we're waiting. And then you go back in and you can hit it. Pretty underpowered right now, though. You don't see a lot of model users, which usually makes me want to pick it. But that is the model shotgun for medium. We go down here. Here are dual blades. And to show you this is some of the coolest looking weapons in the game. If you want to be a dual blades player, you're pretty cool. But if we do this, which one's shooting? Here we go. This guy's shooting. What's going on here? I'm going to wait for them to shoot. Actually, I'm going to go into this little gallery here, start the challenge. I go over here, I can have people shoot at me. This is part of the charm of the dual blades. So wait for them to shoot at me. You can block bullets and deflect them back at the people that are shooting at you. So that's pretty cool here, and it's obviously it takes some skill to master. You have to actually be looking at them when you're blocking the bullets, but these are some of the coolest looking weapons in the game. They definitely make you feel the coolest, but that is a weapon for medium, and it's a melee option, and if you're really good with them, you're really good. So those are the dual blades, and those are all of the weapon choices for medium. So now we're going to go over to light, and I'm going to start with the MP5 or the XP54. This is what, obviously you can tell I'm shorter because I'm a light now. So this is the XP54. A lot less recoil here. Here's the dash ability. We'll go over the abilities more later. But this is what this weapon looks like firing. Pretty easy to control. It's pretty good at medium to short range. Decent at long range, providing pressure. But it's definitely a good option. And the hip fire is pretty good too. Not as good as the M11, but it's still pretty good. So that is the XP54. What is up next here? Here's the 93R. This is a 3-round burst pistol. It is very powerful right now in the meta. Kind of feels a little John Wick-ish. Not as much as the single fire pistol, but it's very good hip fire as well, and it's very powerful. That is the 93R. Here's the ARN. This is the assault rifle for the light class. Little to no recoil at all. And if you shoot, if you see the bottom right-hand corner, you can see how many rounds I have in my magazine. I have 12 left. If I keep firing until that magazine is empty, I will do a faster reload than a default reload. See, and now I'm already firing again. That was a super long reload. But if I hit the reload button, I do a longer reload. So that is kind of the skill expression here. But here's me firing the ARN. Very easy to control weapon here. And it is really good at longer to medium ranges, but it is very bad up close. So you kind of like fix your play style there and work around that reload time. But I really like the ARN. It's a top 3 gun for me. Here is the M26 Matter. This is a pump shotgun. Pretty good. Your best played with dash, in my opinion. Does decent amount of damage, but it is an up-close shotgun play around cover type of weapon, but that is the Matter. Bad at long ranges, but that is this shotgun. And then we go over to the Dagger. This is a Dagger skin, okay? So since I'm holding it so small in my palm, usually the Dagger's pretty big, but this is a skin I have for it. If you hold, so this is the quick attack. If you hold down the left stick or the heavy attack button, you can, if you are behind someone, you can one-shot anyone, even the heavy. So if you hold it down, I'm holding it down. I guess it didn't register there, but if I'm holding down this and you get a backstab, it is a one-shot kill. It is hard to get behind people to hit that one shot, but that's part of the appeal. You can dash behind someone and hit them in the back. It is not registering on this heavy, but that is a huge appeal for them. You can hit a backstab there. And then you can do these small, normal attacks on people too, that are also pretty effective. But again, this is an FPS, so first-person shooter with a melee weapon. You're going to have to work around cover with that. Then we have the sniper rifle. Love the sniper rifle in this game. Very good. It's got a weird delay between shots, so I shoot, and then I feel like I could shoot now, but you can't. So you got to get used to that. Once you get used to it, it's pretty good, but very good sniper rifle. This is what it looks like. There is some deviation with the hip fire, so there's some bloom, so you can't be 100% accurate with hip fire. But in scope, it used to be hit scan. Now there is some bullet drop over range, but there's hardly any. Like, it's almost nothing, like as you see right there. But a very good weapon if you are good with it, if you get good with it. But again, the time it takes between shots, you get fully re-racked with the bolt, and you still can't shoot for a little bit. So you got to get used to that bug. They still haven't fixed it. Then we got the M11. This might be the gun you start with. Also, here is that emerald skin that you get from World Tour when you hit the top ranks of it. Hip fire is crazy good with the M11. Very, very good hip fire. And then if you aim in, I have the red dot sight on it, obviously. It's got a much larger mag with 40 rounds than the XP54. So it's really, really good up close. Meh at mid-range. And but it's more forgiving. It's kind of like the AK, what the AK is to the FCAR in terms of the SMG category for light. And then we have the LH1, which is kind of like the PIKE version. It's the DMR option for light. Pretty good long range. It's had its time in the meta. Now it's kind of in the medium pick right here. Very good. If you like this style of weapon, this is a great variation of this. You don't have to use this sight. Obviously, it's kind of ugly on this. The iron sights are pretty good on this weapon, but this is how it looks. You can fire it pretty fast if you're accurate with it, and it's pretty good at all ranges. Wow, that's actually really good super tapping that kind of make that. Holy crap! I think they buffed the recoil here for this, because that's super easy to control. Sorry, this is just me figuring out that I might want to run this. If I can tap it and kill it, that's crazy. So this might be a good option. Then there's the bow. The finals does the the bow and arrow better than almost anyone in gaming. It feels so good. This is a cosmetic for the bow. If you fully see as it hits that little shine on the tip of the arrow, you pull it back, boom. As soon as it's a shine, it's fully pulled back. And if you fully pull it back and hit a light in the head, it one-shot headshots them. Aiming in just zooms it in like this. There is a lot of drop on it. You have to lead your shot, so you have to get used to that. And there's a medium. If you hit a headshot there, it does a lot of damage. But if you get good with the bow, you are lethal. Very, very, very good weapon. And one of my favorites in the game for sure. But if you can like spam shoot it before it pulls back, it's going to do a fraction of the damage it normally does. So the longer you pull it back, the more damage it's going to do. And obviously all the way back, it's going to hit a headshot at any range. But far range, you're going to have to like account for some drop and lead your shot here if you want to hit your shots at long range like this. But yeah, this is the bow. One of the most unique weapons in the game, in my opinion. Very satisfying. One of the best bows in gaming in general. And then we're going to get into the V9S, another one of my favorite guns in the game. This is the single shot pistol. You can kind of super fire it. Really good with headshots. A really good hit fire too. Really underrated. Not a lot of people use this right now, but it's really good. And I enjoy using it a lot. So this is what it looks like as you're shooting it. 20 round mag. It's really good at long ranges too. So I think there's like hardly any damage drop off. It is hit scan, so you do not need to lead your bullets at all. Just put them in the red dot. You can also go with iron sights, I believe. But yeah, the V9S is very, very, very good. So this is that pistol option. Then we go over and we've got the SH1900. This is the double barrel shotgun. You come up and you can absolutely destroy people, but the reload is pretty long. Boom, boom. I think you can one-shot lights if you're close enough. Almost one-shot mediums if you're hitting it. It's nuts. Let's see. Let me get up to this light. Yeah, you can one-shot lights if you're right up next to them. And almost two-shot with a melee. You can two-shot melee with a medium. This is what this looks like. And I will recommend dash to become a harder target to hit while you're hitting that long reload. But that is this shotgun. Little bit of cheese, but that is the shotgun for this class. And then you've got the melee for this class, which is the sword, which is one of the most satisfying weapons in the game. This is the katana skin for it. There's a lot of tech for this. It's the same as the knife. So you come in, you can do your normal melee swings, which are, wow, 2 hits for a light. But for a medium, it's much harder, obviously. But you hit them, 3 hits there. And then you can hold down that heavy swing, and then you can do a lunge into people that does more damage here. And if you combine this with the lunge with the dash ability, you can lunge into people and then hit melee at the same time, and you'll stack that damage, which feels kind of like a bug, but whatever. And you can instantly delete people. Wait, oh, I messed it up. Yeah, wow. Wow. But that's the sword. Another niche pick. If you're good with the sword, you're gonna make it your whole personality. But it's a very fun, satisfying option. And you got the throwing knives. By default, these look like throwing knives. Right now, I have these playing card skins for them. But there's a lot of bullet drop, but once you master them, they're very lethal. They're very good to use, but again, a lot of bullet drops. You have to really get used to leading your shots, especially long range. I think it's almost impossible for me to hit these long range. But if you get it down, man, I know Neon Guts is another creator in the finals. You hit headshots consistently. That was a heavy. So also, you can charge up your heavy click with this as well, and you can one-shot people with the charge up for these throwing knives. I don't think you can do it to mediums. Yeah, you can't do it to mediums, but with lights, you can one-shot them if you charge it up. And you can walk around and dash with it charged up, so you can get that lined up and then release it. But you can boom and then charge up that heavy, dash around, and then release it to shoot out that heavy shot. These are a really fun option as well. Maybe you want to unlock those because of that. But I think that's every weapon option in the game for light. So let's go over to heavy, our last class, and we'll start with the dual DEAGLES here. Very, very accurate, very lethal if you could go with them. Look, I'm super tall now, as you can tell. I'm with the heavy, and these are one of the best long-range options for heavy. And they're some of you will feel the coolest while you're using these. If you can land headshots long range with DEAGLES, you will feel satisfied and lethal. And some of the most dangerous heavies I ever play are using these weapons. But this is what they look like, and some of the in-specs for them and reloads are really good. These are the dual deagles if you want to unlock these for the heavy. And then what is up next for these? We've got the NGL grenade launcher. You have to bounce this off of stuff for it to hit. This is a very niche pick. Not a lot of people use these, but because I think it does not explode on impact. It has to hit something first before it explodes, so you have to like bounce it off of stuff to get it to be effective. Really hard to use. People throw down mines and then hit mines. There's a lot of tech, you can look it up, but this is the MGL. Kind of just a I want to cause chaos weapon. That's what it looks like when you shoot it. Here's the minigun a lot of people like. You can go and do some suppressive fire. It's really good up close. Very big magazine. You have to wait for it to start spinning to start using it. But you hold down the left trigger on controller to start spinning it. The reload's really long. That's the trade-off there. So you start that spin, and then once it's full spin, you can start shooting the minigun again. It gets more accurate the more you start firing, but another really good option, and it just shreds through light players. So if you're annoyed by light players, minigun's a great option. But that is the minigun. Really, really cool. That was an addition this season. We go down. Here's the sledgehammer. I have a sword skin, and if you inspect it, you start playing it, which is cool. You can run around playing the guitar. But if you hold down, so you can do normal swings, 2 taps, lights, and you can do a heavy swing, which does a lot of damage. And I think a heavy swing on a light kills them right away. So, boom. And then you can walk away playing the guitar. But this is the sledgehammer. And I think this guitar skin is a legacy battle pass from the Season 1 battle pass, if I am correct here. But normally it's a sledgehammer skin, and that is the sledgehammer for the heavy class. And if we go over, here is the meta pick for heavy. This is what everyone is using for heavy. It is a 4-round burst shotgun. So you go boom, 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 and then you do like a little pump reload, and boom, 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 pump reload, boom, 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 and you get 4 mags before you have to do a full reload here. So you got 4 4-round cartridges. So I can go boom, 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 and then you have to do a full reload. This is very powerful, very, very, very good up close. And one I would recommend you using the majority of your matches. Here's the M60, big light machine gun. Pretty easy to control. Really good far range, very big magazine. If you're good into suppressive pressure here, it's a very good option. This is what it looks like. And the reload is pretty long though. And that was my reload animation that I had bought is me just throwing the rifle. But this is what this looks like. Shreds lights. It's really good. Very, very good pick right now, and I would recommend it. Here's the SHAK 50. Here's the AR version. This actually fires 2 rounds at once, I believe. So keep that in mind while you're using it. Hip fire is decent. It's very, 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 very good up close if you're landing your shots. So that's how people kind of use it, like a pseudo SMG shotgun, but it's an AR. It's decent at range too. You can use it like that too. But this is what it looks like using the SHAK 50. I love it with this hollow sight, but this is usually my go-to if I'm playing heavy. I hardly ever play heavy, but that's usually what I am using. Here's the flamethrower you see everywhere all the time with lower skilled players. This is really, if you're in a close range area, it is almost impossible to get away from. And it's very satisfying to use though, but I mean, what more is there to say? This is just it's a flamethrower. It's exactly what it looks like. So after you light someone on fire, it keeps doing damage to them. They keep burning. So you can just kind of tap them and they'll keep burning over and over. And if you keep hitting them with it, it'll obviously do more damage. So you can do that. They're almost dead, and I'll walk away. And you see he still died. So that is the flamethrower. Another very oftenly used weapon choice. Here's the Lewis gun. This is the other LMG option for heavy. I think it does a little bit more damage than the Lewis, and it is a little easier to control. This was the meta for forever until they kind of brought it in line. Now it is just as good as the M60. I think maybe even a little worse. I hardly ever see the Lewis gun now. But this is very satisfying. It's just a little bit easier to control, in my opinion. Go down. Here's another shotgun option for heavy. It is a projectile shotgun, so you got to lead your shots. It used to have to lead them a lot. But up close, I think now it's almost hit scan. Another great option. Cool thing about this weapon in specific, though, it does a lot of environmental damage. So you can shoot through walls with this gun. So it's kind of like a piece of equipment as well as a weapon. So I like that a lot, that aspect of the gun. And I don't think there's, yeah, much damage fall off at all. I might use this, actually, watching all this. And then there's the spear. I mean, not a lot to say. A spear's a spear. Kind of keep a distance without keeping distance. And then you have a heavy attack here that puts you in third person and you do damage to everyone around you. And you can just hold it down and take over the area, but usually you're going to be using the primary attack with the spear. Very niche pick, usually. There's someone in my community during our 1v1 tournaments that uses the spear exclusively and is very, very good with it. But it's a lot of fun, satisfying to see, and that move just looks pretty dope. So that's the spear, and I think that is every weapon in the game for every class. So going through all these, I should have timestamps. If you saw something there that you like, I would unlock it first as you get those diamond currencies and get really good with it. Come over to the practice range. Once you do, though, once you find a weapon you really, really like, I would... Well, let me get these off. I'm bad with these. I equipped it, like the FCAR is my favorite. And I would go over to this new area in the firing range here. And do what I did before. You select a challenge, big box battle, and I'd set it to easy for now. And then go in here to start it. And it'll give you dummies that actually shoot back at you. And you can practice using that weapon without going into a full game. And it's a really, really, really good way to get used to it without going through load times to get into a random match and play against actual other players that are probably super sweaty. And you can get used to using it situationally. And it's like you last a certain amount of rounds. Usually there's like 3 waves. I always play this on hard before I head into a ranked match just to get my recoil control down. You can do that with any loadouts. You can also use your different abilities. Here's a jump pad. I can put that down. Actually, jump pad's kind of bugged right now. All of the dummies attack the jump pad instead of you. But all the dummies use different weapons, and they're heavy, medium, and light. But it's a good way to get warm with whatever weapon that you're using at the time. So that is that. But I would utilize this all the time as a new player to get used to all of the different weapons that you're trying out as you're finding your favorite weapon. So now that we finished that, I'm going to go over all of the gadgets and specializations. So I'm going to start with light. I'm going to do specializations first. So we've got dash, which is pretty straightforward, right? You hit your specialization button and you dash forward or backwards or whichever way your movement input is facing. So I'm going left right now, it'll dash me left. Going backwards, it'll dash me backwards. And you can do that in a gunfight. I'm engaging, and then I can dash while I'm engaging, which is pretty cool. From the other specializations, there's cloaking device. So what this will do, you can hit it and you will just go invisible, which is crazy. So when you move, you become less invisible, easier to see. When you stop, you become more invisible. So if you're on the move, your invisibility will be worse. If you shoot at all, you become uninvisible. If you take any damage, it'll stop your invisibility. And if you use a gadget or an ability, you will lose your cloaking. So I throw a grenade and it takes you out of your cloaking state. And then there's grapple, which I think is the best. It is just a grapple hook, but man, it is good for getting around the map. It comes back a little bit slower than the dashes do, but it is very, very useful in a match, and you can kind of bunny hop momentum with it and then start a fight and then use it to get out of a fight. You can start a reload and use the grapple and it'll still do the reload. See, I'll hit the reload key and then hit the grapple, and then when I get up here, I'm reloaded and repositioned. Very, very good weapon. Very, very bad aim. But that's the grapple specialization. If you're looking for stuff to unlock, those are the 3 light specializations. Let's go over to the medium. Here is dematerialization, the best one in the game, in my opinion. You can just go through walls and then close them back behind you. Anywhere. I want to go in here. I don't want to aim for the window. Boom. I'm in here. It is so useful. If they have something above that you want, like the cash out or something, you can do that and then take it down and take it as yours. See, that barrel just fell down and now I can use it. It was upstairs. So that is the dematerializer specialization. If you see any of my gameplays, I'm probably using it. There is the healing beam, which is a whole like weapon, but it's under the specialization. You hit your specialization thing and you will heal your teammates with a heal beam, and then you can get back to doing damage and then healing up your teammates. It's a very good team play type of specialization. And the last specialization for medium is going to be the guardian turret, which is pretty self-explanatory. You can put it anywhere. When you are putting it down, there's a little bit of cooldown if you do that. How do I press? Oh, wait. Oh, okay. You press the left trigger to rotate it. I don't use a lot of guardian turret, but you put it up and it will shoot enemies for you. So you're holding down, you're fighting someone over here, boom, 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 and they're shooting people behind you at the same time. It does a lot of damage if you put this on the cash out. It's really good for holding point. It has an FCAR in there, as you can see. So it is shooting an FCAR, like the weapon I'm using here, with an automated sensor, and just does a continuous damage all the time. It's a very, very, very good tool, especially as you're starting out in game. Those are all 3 specializations for medium. So now we're going to go over to heavy and go over these. Here is Winch Claw, very good for shotguns. Oh, I was kicked from server. Okay, sorry, Embark. Let me take this time to skip this god-awful song. Okay, let's go back to the practice range. Oh, Embark's fault, not mine. Sorry, future me. All right, so over on the heavy, we've got different specializations here. We've got the Winch Claw. Oh, no, we got Charge and Slam. So the first one I'm going to go over is Charge and Slam. If you hit your specialization slot, you are going to start running faster and angrily. Sorry, what the hell? If you hit your specialization slot, your character is going to get very angry and start charging forward. And you bounce people forward and do damage to them. And if you jump at the end, you slam onto the ground and hit it doing an area damage type of thing. If you go from a high place and jump off and hit it, I'll show you. You will slam into the ground. It's a good way to start fights. And you do a lot of structural damage when you're running through. It didn't really do it there, but you can kind of tell this wall is all busted up. And if you want to get through somewhere, it's a good way, like that shotgun. You can just kind of run through buildings, and it'll just be destroyed with this specialization. So that's a good way to do that. Another specialization, sounds like that whole building. Here's Mesh Shield. This is a really good team play one. Oh, it collapsed. Whoops. Mesh Shield's pretty straightforward. You just hold up a mesh shield that blocks all incoming fire for your team behind it. If someone is using melee, keep in mind they can just walk through your shield and hit you. So it's good against teams that are using ranged weapons. That is the Mesh Shield. The next one we're going to do is Winch Claw. This one is really good with a melee or close range option, or the SHAK 50, which is good close range rifle. You hit them, bring them into you, and they are also stunned. The winch is very cheese because of the stun. If you get hit with the winch, you can't move, react, or do anything. All you can do is just kind of stop doing anything with your input and just wait to die. The winch is kind of a guaranteed kill. So you bring them in, they're stunned, they can't do anything, and they're dead. So winch is very good. You can also grab objects with the winch. So say they're transporting this cash out box somewhere, or your teammate's totem is somewhere out in the open and you don't want to cross, you can winch it to you and grab it, and it is yours now. So that is a good use case for the Winch Claw. And then the last one is the Goo Gun. This one is a lot of fun. It's like an actual physical weapon. You can just build structures with this. A good way to use this is, oh, there's people push from this way. I can just do this, and then I have cover. It has a lot of health, so it won't break easily. Goo's biggest weakness is fire. You can burn goo, so you just have to be careful with that. That's how you get rid of a lot of goo. It catches on fire, but you can goo people in place. If you hit it right, you have to hit their legs and they're stuck in it. And you can keep gooing them over and over and over and over to get close. Say you're using a melee weapon, and then bring them in. But that's a cool way to do it. If you're in a cash out box making defense, you can just literally just create walls while you're waiting for people to come push your cash out box, which is pretty cool. And if you're at a doorway, you can like you go through the window, and then you can just seal up the window if you're fast enough, and they can't follow you through. So that's pretty cool. Or something like here's a good use case. Like, oh, I'm getting up here, and then I don't want them to follow me. I can just block that off. So that's pretty cool. And goo does some structural damage if you expand into it too. There's a lot of skill expression with the Goo Gun. And those are all the specializations in the game. We already did medium and light, so now we're going to get into gadgets. This is going to be the meat and potatoes of this portion of the game. So we're going to go to light first. We're going to get through all of these. So right now I've got goo grenade, glitch grenade, and the healing emitter. So goo grenade is pretty self-explanatory. This is a grenade that makes a goo ball. Very, very useful if you want to take cover somewhere. It is in the meta right now. Also, if you want to take height, that's what that does. Glitchnade makes it so that you cannot use any of your specializations or gadgets. So if you get someone with the glitchnade, they will hit the glitch effect all over them. This guy can now not use his dash or his dematerialization or his various abilities. If you come over here, my teammate's hurt. This healing emitter, it heals them. So you can heal your teammates with your gadgets on light. Come over here. What are some other ones? Here's the gravity vortex. This is pretty niche, but if you go, you put this down, you get around, and then you see someone crossing near it, you can hit it, and it creates like a black hole that people get trapped in the center of. I like to do that and then throw a fire nade on the ground so they burn, they can't get out. But that's what that does. It traps cash out boxes, anything that is movable in its field. That is what the gravity vortex does. Gas grenade, pretty self-explanatory. It's just like the fire nade. We haven't gone over that yet, though. It makes a gas cloud that if you're in it, it does a lot of damage. The way to counter that was fire. Fire takes out gas. So if we throw on the fire nade here and I throw it over here, it'll get rid of the gas, but it'll also do the same thing if you walk through it. It'll light you on fire. So that is the use case for that. And then we go over here. We got the frag grenade. That's super self-explanatory. It just does explosive damage to those near it. That wasn't a great example, but if they were on the ground, it would have done it. And then we go over to thermal bore. This is a good one. This one is for going through walls as a light. You hit it, it bores through and explodes the wall that it hits. And then you can go through. It does hardly any damage, so you can't really use it as a weapon. But that is what the thermal bore is used for. We got flashbang, smoke grenade, and sonar. We'll go over. Sonar is good. It shows you where enemies are through walls right there. So anyone in the radius of that sonar nade will ping, and you'll be able to see them through the walls for a few pings. Flash grenade, pretty self-explanatory. It'll flash people. That almost crashed my game. This is what it looks like if you're in range. Oh, wow, flash grenades are almost crashing my game. That's nuts. That's what that does. Here's the smoke grenade. The smoke grenade also puts out fire. But this is what it looks like. This is very meta right now because you can pair this up with something else. Thermal vision. If you throw smoke and you put on thermal vision, you're basically unkillable. You can see through the smoke and see outlines of people, and you can just shoot people without them being able to see you. There's no... I expect to get nerfed, but that's what thermal vision does. It makes people very easy to see, and smoke grenade is usually paired with it to give you some easy kills. We got the nullifier. What else is there? The gateway and tracking dart. A lot of gadgets in this game. Tracking dart is a lot like what we saw before, but if you hit someone with the tracking dart, you'll be able to see them through walls for a long amount of time. This is better than the sonar because you actually have to hit them. It is hit scan. You don't have to lead your shot at all. But if I go and I hit someone with the tracking dart, it does 1 damage, and you can see them through the wall at any range. So it's a good way to start a fight. You can hit them with it and then be able to follow them through the walls as you're fighting them, but it does wear off over time. The gateway is a teleportation grenade. So if I go here and I have a little gateway and I go over here, when I interact with it, it'll teleport me over to that. That also goes with things you're carrying. You can throw things through the teleporter and they will appear on the other side of it. Where did it go? I threw it somewhere over here, but you can throw anything through it right there. Boom. Nullifier makes people unable to do damage. They can still move around, but they can't interact with anything or do damage for a short amount of time. And that is what that does. What else do we have in the gadgets category for light? We have Vanish Bomb and Breach Charge. Breach Charge is kind of like a mobile C4. You can throw it on the walls. You get 3 sets for it, and then you hit the explode button, and it does damage to that wall. Gets rid of it. Doesn't do a lot of player damage, but it's good for destruction. And the Vanish Bomb is just like the specialization, but you throw whatever you throw it at, even yourself, turns you invisible with the same rule set as the invisibility specialization. If you shoot or do anything, it brings you out of it. But if you want to use dash, but you still want to be invisible, the Invis Bomb is a good way to do that. That is all of the gadgets for the light class. So let's go over to medium and go over all of these. Defibs, I'm not going to be able to explain without teammates here. You rub them together, and then when you do your release on your player's totem when they die, it will revive them for you. Goo Grenade is the same as on light. It's the same thing. Jump Pad, almost mandatory. You hit this and you put this on the floor, it will shoot you into the air. It is a huge tool for mobility with medium, and there are 2 mobility gadgets in their kit, and this is something that every medium has on their kit. It's just so valuable. Now, Explosive Vine, pretty self-explanatory. You put this down, it arms itself, and it'll explode when someone comes near. Here is a good example for the Explosive Vine. Boom. And it takes about half their health if they're a medium. Pretty useful for setting up shop somewhere. Pyronade, same as, obviously, the light does the same thing. It is just a Pyronade. I just have a different skin for it on this class. It'll burn them. Gas Grenade, same thing. Frag Grenade, same thing. Glitch Trap is just like the Glitch Nade, but if someone is in range, they can't use their specialization or their gadgets while they're in range of the Glitch Mine. So it's a good way to catch people off guard if they are getting close to wherever you've set up defense. Now, here's the counter to all of these throwables. This is the APS turret. You throw this down in this circle. People cannot throw any grenades at you or RPG shots at you, and you're safer in that turret. So that is a good defensive tool in this game. We go over here. Here is Zipline. This is the other mobility thing. You see this blue thing moving around where I look? Once I set it somewhere, I can interact, and it'll zipline me there, and it's such a great tool. And if you pair that with jump pad, you can use the momentum from the zip line into the jump pad to jump pad even farther, and that's such a great combo right there. So that is the zip line for medium class. What else are we missing here? Let me make sure I have my kit the way I want it when I go back into ranked. The new one from the season is Breach Drill. This will go through a wall and flash grenade the people on the other side, and then it will blow up the wall for you. So you go in, if you're inside, you'll get flashed, and then it'll blow up the wall. Pretty cool gadget that's new this season. I don't think anyone ever uses it, so I'm assuming it'll get a buff pretty soon, but that is what that equipment does. Obviously, we have the flashbang. Smoke grenade does the same thing. Gas mine is just like the explosive mine, but instead it does gas. We will see that go off when they get close. That's good for cash outs. It keeps the gas cloud there, but it's just a delayed explosion. Go down. We have the data reshaper. Really, really good if you get locked up by something, or you see someone else's equipment, or just barrels. You can use it to make it into something else. And it's really useful. Even like different decorations in the game, you can turn them into barrels. And if you throw these barrels at people, like that glitches people. This is a smoke barrel. It's just like a smoke grenade. This is a goo barrel. This is just like the goo grenade. You just find these around the map. Here's a healing barrel. It'll heal you. Pretty straightforward. And if you use the data reshaper, you can make those different gadgets and stuff you see around the map. You can use that to reshape that into something either less dangerous or more useful for you. And then here's the proc sensor. Super useful. Once someone is in range, it will ping them for you, just like the tracking dart, but it's like more area of effect, and you will see them through the walls. So, and it doesn't go away until you shoot it. So it's super, super useful when you are setting up a defense somewhere, or if you're playing with randoms, no teammates, and they don't have comms, you can use that to give them information without actually saying it to them. And those are all of the gadgets for the medium class. Now let's head over to the heavy and go over to all the gadgets that they have to offer. So we've got Dome Shield. This is a really good one. A lot of people use it. You throw this down, and you get a shield where you can't get shot from, but you can shoot out of it. So I can shoot someone while I'm in the Dome Shield, but they cannot shoot me. Then we have the Lock Bolt. That is this right here. If you shoot this on the ground next to someone, it'll lock onto anyone. Wow, I completely missed. It'll lock onto anyone in the area and tether them to that. It's a good way to get movement players stuck somewhere that are moving all around, but you kind of have to hit it. So here, he's locked to it. He can't get out of that beam there, and he's locked in this little area. It also locks on to cash boxes and cash out stations. Really good tool. If you're really annoyed by movement lights that are dashing all over the place, you hit them with a lock bolt. Pretty much a easy kill. But if I use the data reshaper on medium, you can data reshape that if it locks onto you. So keep that in mind. We've got barricade, RPG, pretty straightforward, but I'm still going to show you. And let's go the anti-gravity cube. Anti-gravity cube is cool. Throw that down, and there's no more gravity in here. It'll slowly put things up the center. If you throw this at a cash out box, now I'm fighting in low gravity. Pretty awesome. Really, really interesting tool that you can throw down. You can put it anywhere. Here's the RPG, by the way. Pretty straightforward. It does a lot more structural damage as person damage now. And here are the barricades. And you can work around these. You can't peek above them, but you can peek side to side. You can block doorways with these. You can use them to reach different areas. So if I can't normally mantle right here, I think I can though. I can. But if, like, see, I can't mantle right here, up here. So I can put down a barricade, climb that, and then climb up here. And now I can get to somewhere where I couldn't before, which is really cool. Also, the anti-gravity cube interacts with stuff around it. So now the debris here is going to float up in the anti-gravity cube. It's a really, really underutilized and creative gadget that is in the game. So anti-grav cube is a lot of fun to work with. What else does the heavy have in terms of gadgets that people don't have? Here's C4. And we'll go healing emitter, and then we'll go pyromine. That's it. C4 is a way more powerful version of the one on the light class. You throw these on, you only get one, but it does a lot more damage to players and equipment. People usually put that on the cash out box, and when people start stealing it, you can blow it up from afar, do some damage to them. Here's the healing emitter. This is new this season. You put this down near you and your teammates, and if you just stand near it, it will heal both of you as you take damage. So that's pretty cool. Here's the pyromine. When it gets enemies near it, it'll blow up like a pyronade and start burning them, which is pretty cool. Also, this healing emitter you can pick up and you can throw to wherever you're going to go next, and it'll start healing you when you get there, which is pretty cool. Healing emitter is pretty cool. A lot of people run that this season, and those are all the gadgets in the game. I know it kind of looked like there were more for heavy, but everything I didn't touch on in heavy is shared by every class. So the proximity sensor, flashbang, smoke grenade, all that works the exact same. But that is every weapon, gadget, and specialization in the game with a use case of me using it, an example, so you know which one you want to unlock first as you're going through your games here and figuring out what you want in your loadout when you're loading into these games. Hopefully that is helpful. And there's some stuff in there that I kind of forgot was in this game that I might put into my kit. That anti-grav cube is way more useful in my mind than I thought. But now, after all that, I'm going to go over some trends in this game. There are metas, but right now, there was like a 6-month shotgun meta that like just ended. So shotguns are pretty strong consistently in this game. But right now, as of recording this video, Riot Shield is pretty meta. And if you're actual shooting, Pike, repeater if you're accurate, and then a lot of people, the FAMAS though is like the most damage output. But usually melee, FAMAS, and light can use almost anything. But smoke thermal is pretty meta. You're gonna see. You know, I'm not even gonna go over metas. It's too confusing. I'm gonna take this out in the edit. I went over all of that. XP gain. Oh, I didn't go over that yet. Okay, so you're a new player and you've got your gadgets unlocked, weapons unlocked. You've got everything that you want to go into game, and you want to start leveling up, right? Get your player level up, get more experience. How do we get the most XP possible? So if I hide my face cam, you're going to see behind it, this portion of the menu is the contracts portion, and no one pays enough attention to this. You've got your basic daily contracts, and I'm telling you, you should be doing this every single day. You get 4,000 XP for all of these. So that's a chunk load of XP every day. You can be getting extra. First one of the day, play 3 matches of any game mode, 3,500 damage, which is super easy. Get 10 eliminations or assists, and just revive a teammate. You do these every day, you're going to be leveling up so much faster and getting more of those diamonds. And if you go over to the circuits here, there's going to be, as you see, VIA International, CNS Override, VIA Directive, CNS Echo. There's going to be some of these every 2 weeks. And it's going to be different stages, so 3 stages. And if you do all of them, you unlock a little weapon cosmetic in the bottom right that you see there. But you do these challenges, you see 6,000 XP for all of these. And these take a little bit, but if you do all of them, you get that reward. And then once these are all done, it's like it refreshes every single week on Thursday. Then once all 3 are done, after 3 weeks, it'll go over to the and it'll unlock these new 3 stages. I still have 1 left to do in Power Shift, but it gives you something to do, and it gives you a lot of XP if you pay attention to those. So make sure you are hitting these 2 parts of your menu to be getting the most amount of XP and rewards as you can, because some of these rewards for those are free cosmetics, and they're good. They're good cosmetics that you can use in game that are you don't have to pay for. So you can look like you've been playing the game for a long time. You've got those cool sweaty cosmetics, but you earned them instead of buying them from this store tab in the menu. So that's pretty cool. Very underutilized part of the new player experience that I don't think enough people touch on. Okay, last thing I want to go over is settings. I'm going to give you some recommendations for my settings. I have different controller specific settings, but this is what I run with everything that I do in game. So if you want to copy this, you can. These controller settings are very, very good for me. Again, up to you. I have this all the way up on 95% for when I snipe. Just that's why that's so high, but everything else, I have videos explaining what all of these do. I would not copy my keyboard and mouse settings because I haven't done that yet, but I am actually swapping to it today. Here are my social settings, accessibility. Make sure you have invert flashbang color so you don't go blind every time you get flashbang. Make sure motion blur is disabled. It makes it really hard to see enemies. Just some people say it's preference, but if you're trying to do better, make sure it's disabled. Here are my audio settings. I have music almost all the way down because I add my own music to my YouTube videos. Go over here. Here are my video settings. I have things a little bit higher than most people do because since I make content, I want things to look good. And here are the extras. Nothing here. And those are my settings recommendations. Just a quick go through. Biggest thing here is auto sprint. So I have it on and the auto sprint trigger delay is 0. So I instantly go to a full sprint, and you have to be in a sprint to slide in this game. So I can be shooting someone, and then immediately start going one direction and hit the slide button and then slide and rechow. If you don't like immediate sprint, just turn this off and then click to sprint, which is also very viable. I've been practicing trying to get used to that, but that is how you move like I do in the range. It is this setting, so that's pretty important to specify. So if you want to move around aggressively like I do in my gameplay, this is the setting that makes that possible, especially on the medium class. But those are my setting recommendations, and that is almost everything I can think of to get you caught up on the finals as a new player. If you have any more questions, let me know in the comments down below if I missed anything. There are a lot of good finals creators making a lot of good content out on the YouTube as well. Watch them. If you just want to see some raw gameplay, I post that pretty often. I don't just play the finals, but this is my favorite game at the moment. And if you're looking for people to play with, join my Discord. There's going to be a link in my description of my video and my bio of my full page. Or just go ahead and join my club and send in the club chat that you're looking to play a certain game mode, and we will join and play with you. But I really hope you enjoy the finals. If you're new to it, hopefully it's a welcoming experience, and I can answer some of those questions that aren't really explained when you first boot it up and you don't really know what's going on. So again, I would go through, I would go to practice, I would play both of these tutorials. If you're never going to play Terminal Attack, then I wouldn't touch it because there's no need to, but I definitely would play the Quick Cash tutorial no matter what, no matter what, I would play the quick cash tutorial and then go into the practice range and play that little box battle thing with those bots to get used to that weapon that you think is the best for you. But hopefully I was a help. Thank you for watching. Let me know if you have any questions. I love you. Peace.